Grasshoppers has 3 markets that we sell to. One is our direct-to-consumer that kind of operates in a CSA style. And then our second is our wholesale market, which is our restaurant side. And then the third is JCPS, and we sell to them through their fresh fruits and vegetables program. So if you're interested in becoming a supplier for Grasshoppers, the first thing that we're going to ask you to do is fill out a producer interest form, which is about 3 pages. It's information about your farm, how you grow, what you grow. And then that way we can see which category you would fit best into, because a lot of people aren't going to want to grow for JCPS. It's a lot different than, it just depends on your scale and how you grow. And our consumer market pretty much demands entirely chemical-free, not certified organic, but naturally grown produce. So it just depends on where you fall into the whole scale of everything. So what we'll do is after we get your producer interest form, kind of analyze where you might fit, and then we do planning meetings at the beginning of the season. And then you kind of say what you want to grow. We talk about what we need. We do a price list at the beginning of each season for our CSA market. And those prices are set and do not change throughout the year. Jefferson County is a little bit, or the public school system is a little bit different. We do bids in February, and then they come back, I think at the end of February, and say, okay, here's what bids you've won on, and then from there we go talk to growers after that. And then, so that's how pricing's set up. We ask that we receive deliveries on Mondays and Tuesdays for our CSA. And so that kind of works out well as if you have, if you go to the market on Saturday, then you can harvest on Monday and deliver on Tuesday to us. So it's a nice break in the middle of the week because our boxes go out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Right now we have about 500 members in our CSA, so it kind of gives you a scale that we're at there. Let me think. I think those are the big things. Does anybody have any questions about how Grasshoppers works at all?
How many producers do you have?
We work with approximately 60 to 75 total producers, but on a weekly basis, it's more like 10 to 15. Okay. And then we'll have one person that does strawberries that we'll buy from the beginning of the year, or one person that does Brussels sprouts. So we kind of do a one-time basis kind of a thing. We're kind of in this point now where we're, some of our growers that we've worked with are moving to Tennessee, and we've got new people coming in. So there's always some sort of rotation, and and people have new interests as far as what they want to grow, what's worked for them, and what hasn't. So, yeah.
My name's Brian Knott, and I'm with a company called Grow Farms. We're based out of Louisville, Kentucky. Our sister company is called the Horton Fruit Company. They've been around for 70 plus years. They've been family owned ever since. And what we did 5 years ago was we started this company called Grow Farms. It's a brand, and the Horton Fruit Company's always had growers in Kentucky and Tennessee that have grown tomatoes or bell peppers for them for years. And so 5 years ago, we started this company where it's the locally grown company for the Horton Fruit Company, is basically what the company is that I run. And we moved all the farmers underneath our brand. And since this past 5 years, we have added more growers, and we've been able to go to our existing growers every winter and giving them the opportunity to grow more product for the upcoming season. Some requirements with our company: we're on a bigger scale. I guess what we're looking for are farmers that have been growing vegetables for a while. We've gotten to where we put about a 10 to 15 acre minimum on growers. We do that for a couple reasons. We're not a co-op. We're more of a brand, and we can use our trucks. I say our trucks, the Horton Fruit Company's trucks, to stop by the farms on the way back from their deliveries to pick up the product and bring it to Louisville. Or sometimes it goes straight from the farm to a customer. Another requirement is all of our farmers they do need to be GAP certified. It can be, at this time, it can be Primus or USDA, or it just needs to have a third-party auditor come to your farm. And that does, I know that costs about $1,000, so that's another reason, it's important to have enough acres to justify that cost. Some of our biggest products by far, our biggest one is tomatoes. squash and zucchini, bell pepper, cucumber, eggplant. We do a lot of pumpkins in the fall. All those are our main products. We've got about 25 family farms currently that grow for us. Some farmers are 15-acre growers and some are 150-acre growers. So it just depends on, what your operation's capable, and, labor seems to be the biggest issue when it comes to growing vegetables for us, because getting the ground ready and setting and maintaining doesn't take a lot, but when it comes time to harvest, you got to have a lot of hands out there. So I'm trying to think what else. As far as pricing, we go off the market. Whatever the current market is, that's what the growers receive as far as payment. The way we get that is, I know some people will look on the internet, like different websites, to see what the current price is. We actually get the price before it goes on the internet. So the way we do that is having our sister company, the Horton Fruit Company, they have salesmen that handle just specific products. Like one guy, all he buys will be tomatoes. So year round, he's buying tomatoes, and he's on the phone all day long talking to different growers and wholesale companies to buy the tomatoes from. So he always knows what the price is. So when it comes time to pay our growers, whatever he could get it for somewhere else, that's what our growers receive. We think that's the fairest way to do it. We've had growers that have been real successful with us. Like I said, we've had growers that have been growing for our company over 20 years, and every year we're gaining more and more growers. We pay quick. That's a big one that our growers really like. We don't wait to get our money before we pay our growers. If we pick up from your farm today, it's more likely going to go out to the customer either tonight or tomorrow. And if it makes delivery, then you're going to get a check next week on that product. So that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of our company. The Horton Fruit Company moves a lot of organic product. But so during the growing season, what happens is the Horton Fruit Company will buy all that they can from us, the locally grown company. And currently we don't have any certified organic growers, but they can use a lot of organic tomatoes mainly. I would say if anybody were wanting to get into organic with us, tomatoes are the biggest mover, rounds and aromas. Also, I've got a grower that's interested in starting onions and potatoes organically. We're still in conversations about it, but absolutely, that is something. And if a person were wanting to do organic farming for us, I would probably back off at 15 acres a little bit, because that's a lot of acres for an organic operation. We just got to have enough product there for our semis to pick up, 6 to 8 pallets at a time. I tell you, our biggest customer by far is Kroger. We deliver to their distribution centers. There's 5 distribution centers that our trucks go to just about daily. There's one in Louisville. That's where our plant is, and our coolers. There's one in Indianapolis, Nashville, Columbus, Ohio, and Roanoke, Virginia. And so every year we're getting more and more of our volume going to those distribution centers. On top of that, we also have other retailers and wholesalers that we may sell straight off your farm and go to.
Do y'all market it as local?
We sure do, yes. This time of year, this is all I do this time of year is meet with farmers and go meet with the customers, and we have a slash show and everything. And another thing that sells our brand. So we've really promoted the brand Grow Farms as locally grown. And there's a couple of tools that we throw in that toolbox. One is definitely GAP certificates from every farmer. Another one is Harvest Mark traceability. Since we started, we have hooked up with this company out of California. And on the labels that you pack, or the cases that you pack in, you'll have to slap a label on it that we supply. And it has a barcode on it, and it has our company's information on it, and then it has this Harvest Mark code on it, where anybody can punch that code in on the internet, and it'll say, for instance, say if I got a farm in Owensboro, it'll say Grow Farms, Owensboro, Kentucky, whenever you punch that code in. So those 2 tools are big characteristics to our brand. Another thing I forgot to tell you is we work with our growers really, really closely. Everybody in our company, we've got farming experience. We've grown everything that we sell. And if you do grow for us, then we would definitely come to your farm, kind of check things out. We'd invite you to come to the plant, kind of look at what the packs look like. And then, you know, we really work with our growers to make sure, I mean, we got to have the growers in order to keep our business going. And so, you know, when it comes to quality, we work with you. And when it comes to pricing, we're extremely fair, because we know we don't want a grower just for 1 year. We want them every year, and we want to go to them and give them the opportunity to grow more and more if they have the ability to do so. Something else, and just kind of branching off that, we really work with the growers and to try to get them to pack in a pack where the retail customer wants it. We want to do that as much as we can, as long as, you know, your product's good, the quality's good. We don't want you to pack in bulk and then bring it to us, and then we have to put it in these RPCs and put a sticker on all of them. I firmly believe that the more control we put in the farmer's hands, the more return they're going to get. So if we work with you and show you how to pack tomatoes, for instance, in a 17-pound RPC, put a sticker on every tomato, show you what it needs to look like, show you how to stack it, you're going to get a better return. That way, when we pick up from your farm in the afternoon or in the evening, sometimes in the middle of the night, and we bring it to Louisville, and then before it goes out to our customer, we'll have a guy just kind of, you know, check it out, take a couple RPCs off, look at it, turn the product around, make sure everything looks good, and then send it on its way. If it doesn't look good, then that's not good for the grower, because then we got to put our labor into it, go through it, repack it, get the bad ones out. But it's important, you know, if we can work with the grower and show them how to keep the bad out of there, then they're going to get a lot better return that way. I mean, the margin for us is very little. I mean, we get the business. I mean, every year, I mean, I'm looking for a lot. If every grower in here said they grow 20 acres for me, I still wouldn't have enough. That's the truth. And when it comes to what you grow, I would like a grower to come to me, say, I've got experience in this, say cucumbers. I like growing cucumbers. I don't like growing squash. Well, I can work with you on that. I don't tell you, if you're going to grow from here, you got to grow this, that, or this. I don't think that's right. So we really work with the growers a lot. How far east do we, as far as growers?
Yes.
You know, the furthest we get as far as growers in Kentucky, east-wise, would be, I guess I'm going to say Cynthiana. Yeah, we don't have, just because I guess the terrain, you know, of eastern Kentucky, maybe. There's not a lot of acres there where you got your 15 or 20 acres to grow vegetables on, but if there is, by all means, I mean, I sure can, as long as we can make it one pickup spot, one pickup location, and in that case, I would really prefer, say that you guys started maybe your own LLC, one business, to where I'm just paying one company for all the product, and then, because I've got people, I work with people like this that do that. And, you know, when it comes to separating the quality and the quantity and everything, that would be in your hands. But, and then also you're going to be looking at, when it comes to getting GAP certified, you may have to, well, you would just have to talk to the auditor, but it may cost you a little bit more to get GAP certified if the auditor's got to travel to a few different fields. But I guess the only problem that I could see come up in that situation is if, you know, again, we're not a co-op, and we got experience with co-ops, and I know a negative about co-ops is not all the product looks the same. And you know, and the truth is, you may have a grower that does a fantastic job, and the quality and everything's great, but then you have another grower that may be bringing this grower down a little bit. But as long as everything looks good and uniform, you know, that would be in your hands to kind of control that, and that's fine. I mean, we do that now, so that would not be a problem. Any other questions?
Do you have a website we can go to?
Growfarms.com. It's not the prettiest website, but it's got my contact information on it, and yeah, so by all means, again, we're looking for more growers. We handle everything from our biggest movers are tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, zucchini, bell peppers, and pumpkins, and then we do some smaller things, but those are our biggest items. Something else that we started to get into is some individual tray packing. It's like if a grower, and I guess maybe I forgot to say it, say if you do decide to grow 15 acres for me, let's just say round tomatoes, then I'm going to take them all. If you say you're going to grow it for me, and I've got to have them all. I mean, I can't have a grower grow for me and then have 2 or 3 other customers, competing with me, because I may be going to that customer that you get to sell to every now and then. We're pretty widespread. So we take it all, and that's, and I would show you what grade and what size goes in, say for instance, the RPC, that'd be your 4 or 5 tomatoes and bigger. And then you'd have a 5.5 grade, I'd have you pack that in a 25-pound box. 6.6 grade, your smaller tomatoes, where hopefully you won't have very many of those, but you probably have them there towards the end of the season. They'll go in a separate 25-pound box. And then number 2s. I mean, we move a lot of number 2s also. Our company owns the Louisville Produce Terminal in Louisville, Kentucky, and we do a lot of street business there, so we move a lot of the byproduct, a lot of the coals and number 2s off that market. So your 5.5s and 6.6s, I mean, we have customers that take those also. And what we started a few years ago was we started a pack, like a 3-pack tomatoes with a Grow Farms label on it, and we'd put 3 of the 6.6 tomatoes in there. That's just a way to move those smaller tomatoes, and it's got the Grow Farms label and Harvest Mark code and all that on there. Plus we do aroma and grape clamshell. We've got a grower in Tennessee, they pack straight in the clamshells, and we're starting a mini sweet pepper in a 1-pound bag with our Grow Farms label on it. So we're starting to kind of trying to get our brand out there, and then plus trying to have a diversity where we can use all the product that a grower grows for us. Any other questions? Yes, sir?
Does your website have information as to what you paid this last year for the product?
I could do that once we get going. If you're interested, then what I would do, say if you're interested in tomatoes, I can give you like a 3-year history of what we've been paying. But that's basically all that I could give you. Again, it's off the market. Some years and sometimes the years are better than others. But yeah, I could definitely give you that information.
And you say it's based on current market
Uh-huh.
price, you mean nationwide or
Nationwide.
local food or what?
Nationwide. So like I said, we've got salesmen in the office at the Horton Fruit Company. You got one guy just works tomatoes, one guy will just work the veg. And at that time, whatever they could get it for somewhere else is what our locally grower will get. Subtract, the freight and whatnot. Yeah.
So you don't pay a premium for the local?
No, not really. I wouldn't say it's a premium. I mean, it's definitely locally grown, and we promote it as locally grown. But as far as, if the reality is, if a customer could get it $3 cheaper from Mississippi, they're gonna go with the cheaper product to be more profitable. I mean, now there's a little bit of, I guess, I don't know how to say it, but people will pay a little bit more for locally grown, but not much. Not much. Not if they can get it somewhere else, the same quality and everything, $2 or $3 cheaper. So what we're able to do, like I said, with our growers is we're able to move a lot of volume. I mean, if they're interested in growing several acres for us, that's what we're looking for.
Hi there, folks. Like Sarah said, my name's Keeney, and I'm with a company called Creation Gardens. We're also based in Louisville, Kentucky, like Grow Farms, and I've known Brian well for a long time. We're a little different than Grow Farms. Grow Farms tends to sell to a lot of retail resellers and a lot of grocery markets and stores. We sell mainly to restaurants and mainly fine dining restaurants. We service all of Louisville and the Lexington area, Nashville area, Bowling Green, and Evansville, and most points in between. So we have about 900 customers, and like I said, we sell everything from, mainly we focus on specialty produce and the higher end restaurants. We also do sell gourmet value-added products like cheeses and canned things and jarred things, jams and jellies and things of that sort. But we basically, we operate a warehouse in Louisville, Kentucky, and we distribute to all our other outlets from Louisville, Kentucky. We run about 30 trucks 7 days a week. So we can also do pretty good volume. We're not close to the volume of the Horton Fruit Company, but we're pretty large. We'll probably distribute about $1.5 million in local produce this year. So, and all of that is wholesale packaged. It's all, for the most part, as I'm sure Brian covered with you guys. We do require wholesale packed products that are packed according to industry standards and standard pack sizes and quantities and whatnot. I guess I'll go over what our sort of our buying requirements first. We do ask for gap coverage, and that's pretty much industry standard now. That's what our customers request. So we ask for GAP coverage, and we do ask that you have your own audit, that you're audited on your own. As far as deliveries, we generally have most of our produce delivered to our warehouse. We do have the ability to backhaul in instances where it makes sense. We have a truck that goes to Lexington every day, so on the way back we can stop at farms like the Gowron Farm and Weisenberger Mills and other places. So if you're growing a quantity that makes sense for us to stop a semi, we do have that ability. If you're growing a smaller quantity, we don't have any minimums. We don't deal in any minimums at all. Then, if you're growing a large quantity, we may be able to pick it up. If it's not a large quantity, we would probably need to have it delivered to us. Unlike Brian, we've been doing this for a long time now. The local thing, we have a pretty good line of suppliers. We don't have nearly the volume that the Grow Farm does. So I'd say most of our basic crops we have pretty good supplies on year in, year out. We're fairly well saturated on zucchinis and squashes and peppers and corn and things of that sort. But we are looking for new and different products always. We sell about 3,000 products. So a few, just off the top of my head, that we're looking for would be things like potatoes, especially a red round potato that's sized and graded. Another one would be some of the cold crops like broccoli and cauliflower. And again, the key is having a nice wholesale uniform pack. We basically distribute produce year round every day, and we buy on our needs. We buy just as our needs are that week and for all the customers that we have and for the orders that we have. So if you're growing, let's say you're growing cauliflower and you're looking to sell it, as long as you can pack that in a form that the customer's used to and that they see and that they can accept and that would fit right in with their menu, then we can probably find a home for it. Something like that. That's something that we've never really found much of locally. But that standardization is the key, having a consistent product. Another key, of course, is your ability to handle the product. Refrigeration's a big deal, and hydrocooling is a really big deal. If you can pre-cool the product, even if it's not hydrocooling, that's a big help for you. So. And let me think what else.
Do you have any
Yeah.
preference for organic?
We really don't. And it's surprising to a lot of farmers. Organic is a really big thing right now in retail and in grocery chains, but at least I've found that in wholesale we don't see nearly the call for organics, unless they're competitive with a standard product. Restaurants, I think, just don't have the ability to upcharge, and at least not yet. That may be changing, but I'd say organics account for less than 1% of what we do, actually. So we can't offer much of a premium on that.
What about your pricing?
Well, we can offer a bit of a premium. Our customers, we found, will pay a little more for something local if the quality's there. Restaurants do love to sell local. And it needs to be competitive, but we do pay a little bit of a premium. I'd say maybe 20% or so is, our customers won't balk. And even, 20 to 25%, anything really over that, and you really start to, then we may have to offer them another alternative. But they'll pay generally a little more for a local product if the quality's there.
Well,
So,
then they could get into the restaurant rewards program.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we work closely with them on that. We're able to, when we receive local product, and this is especially, again, it's really key if we can just integrate it into let's say you're growing cauliflower and you have a bunch in the spring. If you can pack it so it's just like any other cauliflower, we can just switch our usage to all local. And if your price is competitive, but we're able to receive that as local, and we can track it as I'm sure, I know Horton can as well, and Grove Farms. We can track it as local all the way to the restaurant store. So we can even, in a lot of cases, put the farm's name on it, and it'll be on their invoices, Kentucky Proud. So, we work real close with them. So, most of our customers use the Kentucky Proud, the restaurant awards. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
We do, just about all kinds. We do a lot of cheeses, a lot of sauces. We work with Bourbon Barrel Foods and some other smaller companies. A lot of jams and jellies, honey. We do. We have about, like I said, about 3,000 products. So we'll basically sell anything that our customers want to buy from us. That's our. If there's a market for it and our customers would like it, and we have a good market for it, we're glad to carry it. So. Now, with that said, we don't have a lot of resources. We're a really service-based company, and we don't have a lot of resources. We don't have a lot of salespeople, and we're not like the Cisco's of the world. So, we're not really equipped to take products and go out and grow. If you have a new product, it might be. It's a little bit of a challenge for me to get product out there and to get. I'm our local buyer, and I do all the local food. So.
How does that go out? Like, does it go out to them in an email, or how do they get it?
Well, I do an email about once a week in the summer and a little less often through the winter. But actually, I wish I'd brought one with me. I just put one out. But we send out an email to, like I said, we have about 900 customers to get that. So that's one way we can do it. We have regional salespeople or managing partners, but we're not. Like I said, we're not a sales-based company. So we don't put a salesperson out in the customer's face every day of the week and really push sales. We're really based on service and responsiveness, and so. Which it's worked well for us, but we're not a pushy sales company, so unlike some others, and that works for them. It's just we've grown from a small company. Often, yes, we sell in the case of jams. Most of those are pint jars or 20 ounce. I wouldn't say they're even as big as a quart. I think most of our jams and jellies are pint jars. Now with a lot of other things, we sell some larger pack sizes with the sauces, gallons of, say, local Worcestershire sauce or something like that, or honey. So, it all depends. It's really up to our customers. With a lot of local products, we're building it. If we can find just a few customers that want something, that's enough maybe to justify it. So, we bring on a lot of new products. So, not too many rules on what sizes we'll take, really. Anyone else? Absolutely. I've got a stack of cards. I'll leave them here. If you're a farmer or a producer and you're interested in maybe selling something to us, just give me a call and be glad to talk to you.